Hi guys, welcome to another review, and today I'm going to be looking at the Star Trek The Next Generation Lieutenant Worf action figure by Diamond Select. Although technically not really an action figure, but doesn't matter. Move that to the side and give you a quick look at the box. Typical like Diamond Select, you know, stuff you're used to seeing with their Marvel Select line as well, and they're doing Muppets and stuff like that now, aren't they? But yeah, on the top there you just got 8+. In the back you've got like a Starfleet logo with the red colour scheme, as this is Next Generation and most Next Generation products have a red colour scheme. Star Trek with the hull detailing, Next Generation, Lieutenant Worf and the Enterprise. Really big box this. I do think they could make it a bit smaller, as you know, if you're one of the collectors that keep their package like me, be a lot easier. But here you've just got Michael Dorn, Star Trek Next Generation. Looks really cool. And on the back you've just got a little bio on Worf. So yeah, if you want to read that, just give it a quick pause. Then here it just shows you all the poses you can put him in, as he has a bunch of interchangeable arms and whatnot. Picard, I've got a review of him out, and the Kirk and Khan set, I've also got a review of that out. Weirdly enough, they don't advertise Mr. Spock, but oh well. Yep, that's the package. It's pretty, you know, basic. Oh, it also comes with one of these. I actually haven't looked at one of these for like maybe 2 years, so it was nice to have another look at this. It's been a while, you know, their promotional leaflet. I honestly haven't seen one of these in like 2 years, so it's pretty cool to just have a look at it again. But yeah, all this stuff I have ship-wise. They're not advertising the NX-01 Enterprise, the Excelsior or anything else, but yeah. Got everything here as well, minus the Klingon Disruptor, the Mr. Spock Bank and the silicone tray. But yeah, that's that. I'm just going to put all of that to the side now and focus on the figure. Before I do that, I'll just give you a quick rundown of the accessories. So over here you've got your fair share. You've got 2 sets of arms, as you can see here, which are meant for the Batleth, which is here. He does come with 2, however the other one I have, I've used it for something else, and I'll show that a little bit later on in the video. You get 2 interchangeable hands, which are meant for these arms. This is the first set of arms, and an interchangeable head, which looks nice, you know. I mean, the paint is, if it focuses, that is. The paint on the eyes is a little bit funny. He's looking in 2 separate directions, but there's a little bit of paint, like kind of glop, I guess you could say, on the nose there. There's various shades of like brown in the beard and the hair, which looks cool. Forehead's detailed pretty nicely as well, and I like how the eyebrows actually go up. This is his more shorter hair. I'm not sure if I mentioned it in my Titan merchandise Worf Maxi Bus review, but I much prefer him with the long hair, which he has there. I just think it's much cooler. But yeah, just to give you a quick look at the display stand, it's in 2 separate pieces. You get this plastic bit here with 2 pegs and this cardboard backdrop, which doesn't actually attach to it. So you're probably just going to have to do what I did, and that is blue tack it, or white tack it if you're cheap like me. Interesting to note, they have the Klingon logo on the back as well, which is a little funny, but ooh, that didn't sound nice. Got a mark on there, but well. So it does its job. He stands pretty well without it anyway, so yeah. Let's take a look at the figure, shall we? To start off with, I much prefer Worf with his ponytailed look. I don't know why. However, I think this head looks ridiculously long when in comparison to this one. I don't know what it is, but it just seems a lot longer. And yeah, it's kind of funny. Same basic stuff with the eyebrows, and the forehead looks really nice, as well as the nose. Got some really cool detailing along the goatee. Although it looks like they missed a little bit of paint just there, which is a shame, but The hair is of course in a ponytail, which I really like, as this is my favourite look for Worf. The baldric does kind of get in the way, so you can't turn his head fully. Got a little bit of paint mishap on the side of his face. Just want to come off. No. Oh well. He's holding his phaser rifle using his first set of arms, which is cool. And yeah, this is the pose I like to have him in, as my bust is holding the bat'leth, so I don't feel the need to display this figure with the bat'leth. And the Picard figure that they made is wielding a phaser, so yeah, I think he looks cool with the phaser rifle. Speaking of which, it is removable. And it's lacking some of the detail that's shown on the back of the package, as there's like a green kind of targeting sensor, which this does not have. But you know, it's painted nicely with some sculpted detail there, like handles and whatnot. Same here, it looks pretty nice. And yeah, it looks really cool. I'm glad they included it, and it's what I like to display him with. So it's pretty cool. His baldric looks really nice. It's got like some distinguishable silvers, you know, silvers and greys, so it looks good. You've got this here, I'm not sure what that is. But yeah, it's sculpted really nicely. It kind of sits at an awkward angle due to the ponytail. If I turn his head, then it sits at a more like natural angle. But yeah, due to the way his hands are, you kind of pretty much have to have him like that. So the baldric will look a little unnatural. Here you've got like where it fastens up and everything on the back, which looks pretty cool. I like that. You've got sculpted like stitch work here where the zip is on the actual costumes, as well as some seam lines here and some creasing, which looks really nice. The paint does bleed over onto the yellow here quite a bit, but it's on the back and the front is pretty crisp, so that's a plus. The comm badge isn't that well done. The paint around it is very thick. I've actually fixed it a little bit with like a X-Acto knife. I just scraped away at it and it looks a lot better than it did originally, so that's a plus. There you've got the rank pips up there, which looks really nice. The collar is painted pretty well. Bleeds over slightly on the left there, but not too noticeable. And due to the articulation, you pretty much need to have this arm like this, otherwise it just looks weird as the black separates. I suppose that's a plus of having the baldric covering it there, as you can't see it, so that's cool. The trousers have like a nice kind of sculpted look to them, you know. This Worf doesn't come with interchangeable legs, which is a shame, but I guess I can live with it, as he is in a pretty cool pose. The shoes, which I think would have looked nicer if they were more of a glossy black, like the Picard. They were quite glossy, but oh well. Got heels, so there's a stitch line going down there, which looks cool. And yeah, it's a pretty nice figure. As far as his articulation goes, his head swivels. There's no ball joint, so that's a shame. Both arms also swivel. Both hands swivel. And the waist swivels. This is pretty much the only thing you're going to be getting out of this, as yeah, all the other arms have the same amount of posability. You've seen what he looks like with the phaser rifle in hand. With the first set of hands, you can actually use these, and what's really nice is it does have a, if it wants to like focus in, that is, it says 4R and 4L here. I'm not sure why it says 4, but yeah, at least you know which you know, right and left. It's not that difficult. But yeah, I'm just going to take the hands out and show you what he looks like holding the phaser now. Okay, this is what he looks like holding the phaser, and it's interesting to note that the hands I just removed have 1L, if it wants to focus in, that is, sculpted there, as this is the first set of, I'm just going to call it set 1 of arms. So you've got 1L and 1R here, so you can't mix it up. And I think they only named these 4L and 4R is because they don't have any arms of their own, so they just called it 4 for the hands. So yeah, that's cool. The only problem with this is it's such an awkward angle, because if you hold it up like that, it just looks stupid unless you kind of twist it. But to get it look like he's actually pointing it at someone, you can't really move this down as it looks stupid, and it looks like he's about to phaser his own hand off, which looks pretty weird in all fairness. But yeah, nothing much you can do about that. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to change it to the second set of arms, and I'll do that on camera just to show, well, I'll take one off just to show you that it's pretty easy. You just give it a decent pull and it comes off. Also here it says a 1L just there, so that's cool. And yeah, I'll replace one as well. You just want to kind of twist and push. It's a lot easier to do off camera, but there you go. Oh, I need to bring that around like so. And yeah, so now what I'm going to do is finish it off and I'll be back. Okay then, I just about managed to get him to hold the bat'leth in this pose, and it does look very cool, but like I said, I have the Titan merchandise bust, so I don't feel the need to display him with the bat'leth. But nonetheless, if you want Worf and you don't have any other Worf related products, this is probably pretty much the most like kind of recognizable pose you could put Worf in, you know. And he looks cool holding it like this. I'd say take the hands off and then put them around the handles, as it's very hard to do. The plastic is just way too hard, and yeah, it's a real pain in the arse, frankly. And yeah, what I'm going to do now is show you the third set of arms. Okay, here we have Worf with his set 3 arms, and he's holding the bat'leth at a pretty awkward angle, but you know, it looks cool. He's holding it in like a kind of similar pose to the actual maxi bust by Titan merchandise. So yeah, I don't think it really works all that well for this figure, so I'd probably say if you're going to display him with the bat'leth, then use the set 2 arms, as yeah, it looks a lot cooler. But I don't think I actually showed off the bat'leth earlier. I'll just give you a quick look at that. It looks nice, you know, with the wrapping and everything around here. There's been paint like there that's come off of his hands onto the wrapping, as it's very, the hands are just too hard. But yeah, it looks cool. The silver's very nice, metallic as well, which looks nice. And yeah, I'm really happy with it. So far as an accessory goes, it does its job. And what I'll also do is just quickly show you what he looks like with the alternate head. Get a nice pop when you take it off. Oops, you know, I might just have to do this bit off camera. There we go. So if you prefer your Worf with this type of hair, yeah, go for it. I personally don't, but that's just me. Oh, another thing to note is all of the hands, as I've shown you, like on the inside of the swivel peg, this would say 3L. The hand will also say 3L. Try and focus in on that. Can you pick it up? Come on, work with me, camera. There you go, 3L. So that's cool, as you know, you can interchange hands, arms, and in the end, when you're finished, you can just, you know, put everything back together the way it's meant to be. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put him in my favourite pose again, so bear with me, guys. Okay then, now that I've got him back in my favourite pose, overall, what do I think about this figure? Well, for starters, I can understand the extra head, and I can understand like interchangeable hands and stuff, but as far as having 2 sets of extra arms go, I think if they were to just have articulation in the arms, it would be a bit better. I mean, maybe include like this arm, you know, so you can get it in the really nice bat'leth pose. But yeah, I think it might have just been a little bit cheaper for Diamond Select to just do this with articulation instead of having to include 4 extra arms. But I think it works nonetheless, as if you've bought any of their other Star Trek figures in this style, this is something you'll be used to. Like the original series ones had interchangeable legs, something I wish this one did have, as he's pretty much always hunched downwards, so that's a shame. But yeah, overall, I think it's a really nice figure. You know, I paid £20 for it, and that's pretty much the going price, maybe between 20-25 on the internet. Yeah, it's a really nice figure. I'd recommend you pick it up at that price, especially if you've bought some of the other ones, as they're really nicely detailed and they just look incredibly nice. This did come out in like 2015. You know, there's some products that you want to pick up and then you just never end up picking up for some reason. This was one of them. They've recently released the Khan from Star Trek 2. That's something else I intend on picking up as well also. So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting that. And yeah, what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to show you what this guy looks like next to Picard, as I feel he's maybe just a little bit too big. Okay then guys, here we have Worf up on my Blu-rays with quite a lot of my other Star Trek stuff. Sorry if the camera's a little bit shaky, but yeah, there he is there. There's Picard. I mean, you can see here his head is huge. I'm not sure if I mentioned that earlier, but I think it's just a bit too big, and I think he's a little too tall. But yeah, you know, there you've got the Spock, Kirk and Khan, my Robert De Niro collection. I just feel like pointing that out. You know, starts there. First film he ever did with Scorsese. Finishes there with Heat and Godfather Part 2. If you're wondering why I wanted to point that out, because he's my favourite actor of all time. And then here we've got my Michael Dorn maxi bust holding the bat'leth, and that's why this guy's holding the phaser rifle. I also mentioned earlier that I used the bat'leth for something else. If you've seen my Star Trek ship collection, you know I have things such as badges and stuff underneath the ship. I just decided to blue tack one of them there, so yeah, that looks cool. Oh, and then here you've got like my Amigo collection, so that's pretty cool. I've got reviews of most of them up, so yeah. It's a really good figure for the most part. If you're used to what Diamond Select have done with these like kind of diorama statuesque figures, it's similar to what like McFarlane did with a Predator and stuff, you know, like the Alien Queen. Not much movement, but a hell of a lot of detail. I say that, but these aren't that detailed. They're just really good though. Yeah. I also mentioned that Picard's shoes were a little bit shinier, which I liked. You can see they pick it up there, the gloss, whereas Worf's just aren't. But yeah. Thanks for watching guys, I've rambled on enough. Take care.